Thanks for tuning in to the Advancing Excellence podcast. In this episode, Sonya Christle, a marketing manager within the AEC industry, joins us to share insights on marketing trends and an AI platform that's been a game changer in making her organization's workflow more efficient. Let's start the podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Advancing Excellence podcast, where we explore the latest trends, innovations, and strategies shaping the world of marketing and beyond. I'm your host, Janice Kleins, Marketing Manager for AOE, and I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Sonya Christle, Marketing Manager at Lockwood, Andrews, and Newnham, Inc., better known as LAN, which is located in North Texas. With 25 years of marketing experience in the AEC industry, Sonya brings a wealth of knowledge and energy to every statement of qualification or proposal she touches. She's known for her hands-on approach to developing creative marketing strategies, managing proposals, and building strong client relationships. Sonya describes herself as dedicated, driven, and determined, qualities that have shaped her impressive career and continue to fuel her passion for helping teams tell their story, strengthen their brand, and win new business. Her deep industry insight, commitment to hard work, and enthusiasm for continuous improvement have made her a trusted partner for colleagues and clients alike. And her work continues to drive LAN's success and reputation in the AEC world. Sonya, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So let's dive right in and start. What are the most significant trends currently shaping the marketing industry, especially within the architecture, engineering, and construction AEC sector?
Absolutely. One thing that I've noticed in particular in the last couple of years is this two-step selection process. I primarily work with water authorities as well as municipalities, and what they have is an on-call engineering solicitation that they'll have various categories that you can pursue. Sometimes they limit the amount of categories you can pursue, and otherwise it's sky's the limit. You can submit on as many as you want. Once that gets submitted, the client goes through, they assess who they deem as being viable and qualified firms, then you get on this list. Then the next step would be, once you're on that list for whatever category it may be, then they'll start releasing specific projects. And then you need to submit again on those particular projects. So I think it's both beneficial for not only the clients, but then also the firms themselves. So for the clients, it also limits the amount of proposals or qualifications they have to review, knowing full well that they have the capability and they can actually do the work because they've already been a selected vendor for that category. So I think it's a win-win for both, that you can select, these are the categories that we want to pursue. These are the categories we've been selected for, and these are the type of projects that we would like to pursue.
Okay. So tell our audience how LAN is addressing these significant trends.
Well, for one, we're keeping a list of when those are solicited. Some of those are on-call engineering for those categories in which they might be every year. Some are every 2 years, and some are even every 5 years. So just keeping track of those, knowing how long the term is, how long the contract is, and then once you are selected for those particular categories, meeting with the client, seeing what upcoming projects there are. It's a lot of fact finding. Not only is it that the client is trying to figure out if they want to work with your company with LAN, but it's also LAN understanding where the client's coming from. Are there any areas that they need assistance with? Another trend that we've also seen is staff augmentation, that their staff is stretched really thin. And so LAN also offers the ability to step in, provide any sort of staffing needs, whether it be we can go out into the field and we can review and look at any sort of ongoing projects, report back to the project manager at the city. That way they can stay in the office working on whatever they need to work on, and then we can be out there in the field being their eyes and ears and providing that insight that they may have.
Nice. Okay. So let's move on and talk about AI. Tell our audience what AI you're using and how it fits into LAN's workflow.
Absolutely. Originally, we were using Chat GPT, and then we came across this AI app called Joist AI. That's Joist AI. And the founder actually came from proposal writing. So from the AEC industry, proposal writing, he realized, hey, there's a market for this. And what it is specifically geared towards people in my position that put proposals and statement of qualifications together. Essentially, we use it for the entire life cycle of a proposal. So from the very beginning where you can upload the RFQ or the RFP, it can analyze it, it can pick up any sort of detailed information to close out where we're done with the proposal, whatever the final document is, forms, resumes, the actual technical approach, we upload that and that goes into Joist AI.
Okay, so that moves me on to my next question. I mean, you kind of touched on it, but on what motivated LAN to adopt Joist and what problems were you trying to solve?
The biggest one was just streamlining the entire process. There always seemed to be this feeling of we're recreating the wheel, or someone from our technical staff would say, I know I provided this write up on this particular project, or I've provided this write up on a resume before, and we have different people in different offices. So we do have the ability to work on different projects depending on workflow for people. Essentially, it's streamlining the proposal assembly process where you had this great library that you can pull from, not just the ones that you've worked on, but company wide, all of your counterparts in different offices, you can draw upon what they provided and completed, which is fantastic because you might see a graphic that you like that someone used on a different proposal, and now you can use it on your own. The other was we do have different offices. So we've got marketing in Central Texas, primarily in Houston, and then also in North Texas. When you're trying to help out an office or a location because they just have too many proposals that are going on at the same time, you can have somebody else, say from North Texas, help Houston, and now you've got this excellent library that you can draw on. So it's not limited to I'm only going to work on North Texas proposals and I'm working on 9 at the same time and no one else can help me. Now we can also lean on Joist and we can assist with that by being able to have that excellent go-to location of being able to pull all that information together.
Yeah, it does seem extremely helpful. So I know you touched on it just a little bit, but how has Joist changed the way you collaborate, or is it doing more to help you manage projects at LAN?
There is, at least on the collaboration side, there is a chat component in Joist AI where you can actually put the RFP or the RFQ into the application and it will unpack it completely, where it will look for summaries or any sort of dates. It can fully look through and be able to pick up certain details of you must have this or make sure the projects are within this time frame. You also have the ability of analyzing your drafts. So that's a fantastic tool that you can use within Joist, and then also running compliance checks, grammar, spelling, anything that's overly exaggerated, which a lot of AI, they'll have a tendency to make things almost like a thesaurus. I don't know if you remember the episode in Friends where Joey realizes a thesaurus and so he tried to create this entire sentence using different words but it's describing the same word to sound more intelligent.
Right,
You can
yes.
also create prompts in this where you can say, okay, now have it where we're talking to a project manager at a municipality or whatever the entity is to make it less technical but keeping the same message. So there's a lot of capabilities that you can use using Joist AI.
Okay, that's so smart. Can you share a specific example where Joist made a measurable impact on a project's outcome?
So I wouldn't necessarily say on one specific project, but I would say on a multitude of different projects, you're going to have multiple writers for technical approach section. You're going to have the people that are doing the engineering aspect, those that are going to be focused maybe on the environmental. You might have some of your sub-consultants that will provide some detail and write-up for your technical approach. Thus, you're going to have different writers, different writing styles, the tense, the verbiage, everything's going to be different, or even they might repeat the same information. And part of the module that you can upload is you can upload this entire comprehensive write-up and have it run through and do the analytics, and it can pick up all sorts of different details. It can provide possibilities of, hey, would you like to rewrite this particular section? Does this make sense? Is this what you meant to say? It's got such a vast capability of being able to be almost like a QA/QC of reviewing the document and providing any sort of suggestions. Now, granted, it is a tool. It's great. A person still needs to read through, make sure that you're not losing any of the content and what you're trying to say. But it does bring attention to, hey, you know what, we mentioned something here, but it completely contradicts it in a different location. So it makes that entire technical approach section sound more cohesive and not patchwork together like multiple writers wrote it, even though that's the case.
Okay, it's so smart. Let's talk about some security and privacy issues. How do you ensure that your data security, privacy is taken care of when leveraging AI tools like Joist, especially for clients?
Yes, that is at the forefront of anything, any sort of AI tool that we use. Our IT department has given us an approved AI list in which they reviewed and approved it. Joist is on there. The way that Joist works is it will go out, like the information that they're asking for will go out, so we can pull information like maybe laws that have changed or codes or standards that it can pull, but it's going to keep all of our intellectual property, our technical approach write-ups, and keep that within our library and our Joist module, and not allow it to go outside where it can be used for whatever information, which was certainly something that we were very concerned about and wanted to make sure that that was what it wasn't used or dispersed for other people to be using.
Gotcha.
Or firms.
Right. So my last question is, what advice would you give to other firms considering integrating AI into their operations?
AI is an excellent source, but I think the other thing is at least for what applications you're going to use, you need to really assess and identify where are your bottlenecks. What are your pinch points of, is it being able to have a solid location where you've got all the information that you can pull from? Is it that you want it to be where you've got a great area library which you can select images, or that you want to have something that's searchable? Essentially, I'm just trying to say you need to find the right AI for what you're needing most. And I think in ours, it was, we have so many different resources across different offices that we didn't know what the other office was doing and what they were capable of and what they were producing. But I think once you truly vet what it is that you need assistance with, then you can narrow down which AI specifically would help your team, your company, your industry overall.
I think that's great. Sonya, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. I know our audience will get value from this conversation.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the time.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this episode of the Advancing Excellence podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Until next time, keep striving for excellence.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Advancing Excellence podcast. If you have any comments or questions, please get in touch with us at info@aoeteam.com. Don't forget to follow AOE on LinkedIn at Advancing Organizational Excellence, and be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode.